Our Weather Authority team uses a lot of technology to track these weather systems, and that includes something called remote sensing. Meteorologist Shelby Ebertowski joining us now live this evening. Shelby, to explain what that is and how it works to keep you informed.
Yeah, Myra, we use this thing called remote sensing, and especially we use things like satellites. Now with satellites, we're able to measure the moisture, temperature, and even drought conditions without having physical contact with the ground. Now with that, we use satellites orbiting the Earth scan the atmosphere every few seconds, tracking clouds, temperature, and even lightning. It then sends data back in real time. New technologies like remote sensing and even augmented reality are helping us keep track of temperature changes, the amount of moisture in the air, even how dry the ground is from the sky above to the ground below.
The world is changing. And you need to have this technology, to understand the technology, know how to process this data, then we can to monitor the change, to see the future.
These tools allow forecasters or even meteorologists like the Weather Authority team to really be able to track the thunderstorms, much like what we're seeing today.
Well, as students move through the school year, you'll see plenty of donation drives for supplies, haircuts, even new shoes. However, educators say there's an ongoing need that often goes unnoticed. We're talking about new underwear. Now, a local nonprofit called Siglo de Chispas, they are stepping in to close that gap, and the group is working directly with elementary schools to identify which campuses need the most help, and they're getting some assistance from the Chonas Ferry, or the Underwear Ferry. A heartfelt donation of undergarments to kids who really need it here at J.T. Brackenridge Elementary.
At 78207, we're one of the poorest zip codes in San Antonio. Sometimes children we notice will come in with dirty socks, and sometimes it's a day or two.
These donations from San Antonio.
KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
For 50 years, local families have opened their doors to basic training trainees. KSAT's Patty Santos introduces us to a local family, plus we'll see what's on the menu this year. Educators under attack in districts across the San Antonio area. KSAT's Daniela Ibarra has been digging deep into these shocking incidents, and she needs your help to uncover the truth. And 2 National Guard members were shot near the White House and are listed in critical condition this morning. The latest on this shooting, the suspect, and what officials are saying this morning. And a good morning to everyone out there. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. I'm RJ Marquez, and if you're up early with us, maybe getting some of the food going, maybe getting ready for the turkey trot, we appreciate you being with us on Good Morning San Antonio. We're going to get to some of your top stories in just a bit, but first of all, we need to check in with our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn, for a look at the forecast. Justin, for all these early birds out there that may be stepping outside soon.
I want to know what's in the oven. That's what I want to know. Yes, it is a cool start to the day for our Thanksgiving, but it will turn into a pretty nice afternoon. Let's go outside for you. I'll show you what's cooking here in San Antonio right now. Just a couple clouds, and the temperatures holding in the low 50s for right now. We'll likely fall a few more degrees from here. So we'll get our start off. We'll start off in the 40s this morning, and then eventually make our way into the 60s. 49 in New Braunfels, 48 Converse, 41 right now in Bernie. We've got a very light northerly wind, so wind chill is not much of an issue. Your headlines here: increasing clouds today, mild conditions as we said, and then as we get into tomorrow, cloudy, drizzle will develop late on Friday, maybe some fog too, so it'll turn damp Friday night into Saturday morning. Saturday will be warm, but Sunday is a much different story. Strong cold front moves through, gusty winds, and boy, things will change in a big way. Your forecast for today: mostly sunny, 52, 58 noontime, 64 will be your high, with mostly cloudy skies by the afternoon. RJ.
Hey there.
there, good morning, San Antonio and Military City, USA. Today is Thanksgiving, and many families in our communities are making sure that service members here in the area are not spending this holiday alone. Today is the 50th year for Operation Home Cooking, and you're looking at video from one of the host families. Last year, they invited us into their home. Now, every fall, a call goes out to the families who want to host. They are paired with basic military trainees for the day. They're going to be picking them up at the base later this morning. And this year, the base was looking for about 400 host families. I talked to one of those host families yesterday, the Caballeros. They have done this on and off for about 20 years, and they expect anywhere from 2 to 4 trainees today.
Have them enjoy a home-cooked meal, let them relax. They've been training for 6-7 weeks. So just give them an opportunity to relax, chill out, watch some football, maybe take a nap, because I know they're tired. So
they spend a lot of time on their phone, catching up with their families.
On the menu for that family is a traditional Thanksgiving meal with all the trimmings. They say cream and corn, tater tots, dressing, and different kinds of pies. And really, they strongly encourage any family who wants to have this experience for their family and give this experience to the trainees to sign up next year. Again, we're going to be meeting with them later this morning at the base, and we'll bring you their story on KSAT.com. Reporting live from the Riverwalk, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Patty. Well, this morning, at least 4 people in the hospital after a crash that involved 3 cars on the far west side. This all happened around 6 p.m. at Highway 211 and Petrenko. Deputies say that 3 people in 1 car were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Another driver was also taken in, but we're still waiting to learn their condition this morning. The driver of a 3rd vehicle stayed at the scene and is being treated as a witness. We're going to update you as deputies release more details. And on the south side of town, another accident here where 4 people were hospitalized after a head-on crash. This crash happened yesterday just before 4 p.m. along Pleasanton Road, just west of Highway 281 and south of Mitchell Lake. Police say that 3 of those individuals were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. All right, moving on to this KSAT Investigates story. It's unfolding in every district. Students are biting, scratching, and even killing educators. KSAT Investigates' Daniela Ibarra has spent more than a year digging into this issue. This morning, she needs your help to continue telling these stories.
I was there every day for 10 days, and I'd never left his side. We prayed the rosary every day because he loved the rosary.
Marco Jimenez's faith has guided her through the heartache. She spoke with us last year, months after her husband's death. Alfred, known as Mr. Fred, was an instructional aide for special needs students at Brandeis High School. He fell while redirecting one of those students and later died.
This person was my husband's favorite student in his room where he took care of him. He loved him to pieces. I would never blame this student, never.
Mr. Fred's death led us to spend more than a year investigating how often teachers are injured by students on the job. We found it's happened thousands of times in Kerr County alone. Some of those educators have shared their pain and stories with us.
So I did black out, but my adrenaline was still pumping during that time.
I got one on my ankle that broke skin.
My speech, those are, damn it. With my speech, I at times tend to lose track of where I'm speaking.
This has ruined your life.
Yes, it really has turned everything upside down. Everything about me changed after this injury.
I feel like it's gonna keep happening, especially with nothing in place to kind of protect the teachers.
If you're an educator who has been injured in the classroom or the parent of a student who's seen it happen, we want to hear from you. Scan that QR code on your screen. What you share with us could help us continue telling these stories.
And that was Daniela Ibarra reporting, while an Afghan national has been accused of shooting 2 West Virginia National Guard members just blocks from the White House. The Guard members were deployed to Washington, D.C. and shot Wednesday afternoon. The FBI Director Kash Patel and Washington, D.C.'s mayor say the Guard members are in critical condition this morning. The suspect, who is also in custody, was also shot and had wounds that were not believed to be life-threatening. Officials say the 29-year-old entered the U.S. back in 2021 through Operation Allies Welcome. That was a Biden administration program to evacuate and resettle people from Afghanistan. Well, the number of people who were killed in Hong Kong's devastating apartment building fire, take a look at that video right there, has risen to at least 55. At least 123 people were injured in that blaze, including 8 firefighters. 51 died at the scene and 4 in the hospital. The fire department did not give an update on how many people are still missing. Earlier, officials said that 279 people were still unaccounted for. All right, 5:07, let's give you an update on your traffic right now. And again, things are expected to be pretty light as we continue to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday, but not the case right here. Take a look. We have a crash, I-35 at Fisher Road. This is going to be on the southwest side of town. Right now, it looks like they're reporting at least one main lane that's closed. This is going to be past all of our drivers right here, 410 and 35, right before you get to also 1604. So again, 35 southbound Fisher Road. Looks like we do have some emergency vehicles on the scene. Again, one main lane closed right now for our drivers out there. Let's take you to the northeast side of town because things are looking pretty good for our folks out there as we give you a look at Judson Road, and a sight for sore eyes. Obviously not dealing with any construction on this Thanksgiving morning, so good news for all of our folks that are making their way 410, 35 all the way up to the Pat Booker and Universal City area. Let's check in with our photojournalist Alex Gomez in Drive Cam for us. He's scanning the streets. Alex, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so Alex, we're still getting his mic on, but again, you can see that he's making his way out through parts of the San Antonio area. And there we have Alex for us, but we'll check in with him in just a little bit and get more details, especially on that crash that we were talking about earlier this morning on 35 out there at Fisher Road. So again, we'll check in with Alex in just a bit. All right, 5:09. Well, the Spurs are spending their Thanksgiving on the road, but they got a big win late last night and also saw the return of rookie Dylan Harper. So Harper returned from a calf injury and scored 7 points in 16 minutes. So not a bad return for the Spurs rookie. Now, the Spurs did beat the Blazers in an important NBA Cup game. De'Aaron Fox dropping 37 points for San Antonio, and Devin Vassell had 23. So the final score, 115-102. Spurs beat the Blazers and now are facing the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m.
All right, outside with live cam, we've got just a few clouds out there. Chilly morning temperatures are in the 40s for the most part. This is where we end up today in the 60s this afternoon, but we've got huge changes coming up this weekend. We're going to break down the weekend forecast, some updates for you coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Well, ready for Thanksgiving dinner? We're going to share some easy tips to keep your meal fresh and your family healthy this Thanksgiving. Plus, Frozen fans, listen up. Here's your chance to see your favorite characters live on stage. After the break, we're going to tell you about the Broadway musical running through December 23rd.
Disney's Frozen is coming to the San Pedro Playhouse. We got a chance to check out the hit Broadway musical.
Frozen is a story about two sisters and kind of their journey coming apart and then finding each other again.
Just loved getting to be a part of this team, and from top to bottom, on stage, off stage, every person is just so incredibly talented and passionate about what they do, and that just makes it that much more of an amazing experience.
Obviously there are some like very iconic numbers that the audience is sure to recognize when they come to see it. Let It Go, you know, Elsa's of course is such a beautiful one to watch. They're in for a treat and seeing all of the magic special effects that we have going on there.
So what's great about the musical is that, you know, we do have those favorites and the things that everybody knows and loves and has heard so many times, but the musical actually has a lot more. It goes more in depth into, you know, the different character psyches and just what they're dealing with, and there's new songs and new moments. If somebody was not sure if they were going to come to the show or not, I would tell them that there's more than just the movie. I think there's a lot of people who think, oh, it's Frozen, it's for kids. And this is truly something for the whole family.
For tickets and showtimes, plus the list of community events happening for the musical, check out KSAT.com. Gabby Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you very much for that, Gabby. Well, the big feast is almost here, and if you're not cooking this year and need a place to dine this Thanksgiving, we have got you covered. Let's check out some of the restaurants that will be open today. How about Jim's Restaurants? Luby's, of course. How about Mi Tierra? Saltgrass Steakhouse, also taking reservations. These are all serving Thanksgiving meals later today. You can check out the full list on KSAT.com for all the places that we've compiled that will be open. A reminder, some of them, though, do require reservation, so you'll definitely want to check on some of the availability as early as possible. And if you and your family are cooking, here's some tips if you want to avoid spending Black Friday sick in bed. First of all, watch out for cross-contamination, especially with raw meats. Keep them separate from everything else. Now, once you cook your food, or once your food is cooked, don't leave it out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Put leftovers in the fridge right away. You can reheat them and enjoy them for up to 4 days. The only exceptions to the 2-hour rule are baked goods like cookies or whole fruits and nuts. They're safe to leave out a little bit longer. And the day after Thanksgiving is, of course, a big one for shoppers, Black Friday. But for plumbers, check this out. This is an infamous day known as Brown Friday, given the high demand for service. Thanksgiving meal prep and the cleanup are hard on plumbing systems, especially the garbage disposal.
Most of the physical debris that you have on your plate needs to go in the trash. Do not put anything in the garbage disposal. It's pretty sensitive. It's a fragile component.
Okay, so check this out. Plumbers say that they find everything from bones to eggshells to potato skins in the garbage disposal, and the biggest culprits are grease and oil. Plumbers tell us that if you start to see overflowing water or hear bubbling or gurgling, the first thing to do is to cut the water to that fixture. The second is to call your preferred plumber. They tell us the best way to avoid a clog is to flush out your toilets and garbage disposals often. You laughed when we said gurglings. I don't want to see or hear anything about. Yeah, that does not make for a good holiday there. All right, we don't want any gurgling sounds out there. All right, 35 at Fisher Road. We've been talking about this accident at the top of the show. So, again, one main lane closed at the moment on the southwest side of town. This is going to be past 410. Let's check in with Alex Gomez right now. I believe Alex is headed out to the scene over here on the southwest side of town. So let's go straight to him and drive cam for us on this Thanksgiving morning. Do we have Alex? Okay, let's check in with Alex. Alex, if you can hear me. Alex, let's talk about this accident. There we go. All right, happy Thanksgiving, Alex. I know it's been a little bit of a slow-going morning here.
Happy Thanksgiving, RJ. I just made it to the area on the southwest side. I'm going to make a little park right here so I can show you the flashing lights to your left. This is going to be 35, and I'm actually noticing that the scene is going to be on the northbound lane. So 35 north, right at Fisher Road. It looks like we do have that left lane block, and we do have TxDOT heroes on scene. But the wrecker's here as well, so this shouldn't be here for too much longer, and there's not too much of a backup on the northbound lanes, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex, and a quick update with everything else. Everything else across the city is looking pretty good on this Thanksgiving morning. Okay, let's check in with our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn. Justin, how are we looking?
Thanks, sir. And I bet if we could have seen Alex here, he would have had the coat on. Know Alex, it is a little chilly out there. The temperatures are sitting in the low 50s, but there are many spots here around South Texas in the 40s this morning, which brings me to some Thanksgiving climatology, if you were curious. The warmest Thanksgiving San Antonio has seen was back in 2010. We got up to 83. We will not be there today. The coldest, 33, back in 2013. We will not be there today either. We'll be a little bit more average. Rainiest, 1.39 back in 2000. We do not expect any rain today, so just to give you some perspective there. We take you outside, few clouds at the moment, but generally mostly clear skies. 51 degrees at the airport, a very light wind. 49 New Braunfels, 48 Converse, 41 right now at Bernie. And I would imagine that we'll see a few spots in the hill country get down into the 30s this morning, although we are not expecting freezing temperatures. This is the nighttime satellite. What we're looking at here, this yellow and orange color, that represents low clouds, and we make it that color so we can just see it a little bit better. But we're starting to see some of those low clouds really build in across the southwestern portion of our viewing area. So Eagle Pass, Laredo, overcast. Same story around Junction and then up towards Waco and Dallas. We're still mostly clear, but some of these clouds are going to start to build in a little bit later today. So we'll start off mostly clear, but I think we end up mostly cloudy. 48 at 8 a.m., 50 at 9 o'clock, noontime 58, partly cloudy, and high temperature today only around 64 or so with mostly cloudy skies. So it's not going to be terribly warm, but not bad for whatever outdoor plans you may have. Here's a look at the futurecast, and this shows some of that cloud cover around 4 o'clock. But we're going to fast forward now to late tomorrow. It'll be overcast all day Friday. Then we'll start to see some drizzle and showers develop late in the day. This is 6 p.m. So it turns damp Friday night. I think we'll see drizzle showers, maybe some fog too. That'll continue through Saturday morning. Then Saturday afternoon, this is Saturday at 6 o'clock, we'll get some breaks. It will actually be somewhat warm Saturday afternoon before our front comes through, which is expected roughly around 10 o'clock or so Saturday night, maybe a little bit after that. But along this front, we'll see a broken line of showers and storms. The window for this is very brief, and then we get cold and windy conditions coming in on Sunday. Then on Monday, showers return to the forecast, and it's going to be chilly still, so that means sort of a damp, cold Monday. Here's your weekend breakdown. 73 Saturday, again, somewhat warm, 62 in the morning, 73 in the afternoon. We start off with drizzle and then just a 20% chance of a shower or storm. But look at the difference on Sunday. 50, windy and cold. We'll struggle to get out of the 40s, and that will also be the case on Monday with that chance of rain, 40%, high of only 49. It does warm up thereafter, but buckle up because the next 4 or 5 days, temperatures will kind of be all over the map. Again, mild today and tomorrow, warm Saturday, cold Sunday, cold Monday, and back to mild by the middle part of next week. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. A little bit of history for you, RJ. Which U.S. president made Thanksgiving a permanent holiday? Was it John Adams, James Monroe, Abraham Lincoln, or Theodore Roosevelt? You can vote ksat.com/poll. If you're up with us this morning, have some fun. Make a guess, or you can scan that QR code. We'll reveal that answer in about an hour and a half.
Okay, you caught me a little bit off guard with this one. I thought we were going to talk about more turkeys or maybe the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I was tired of the turkeys. Well, Cowboys would have been a good one too, but
that is a good one. Okay, we're coming up on 522 right now, 51 degrees outside. Okay, coming up in just a bit, Apple is ready to reclaim the smartphone throne, beating Samsung for the first time in years, plus the controversy surrounding a new Apple TV show coming up next.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is set to overtake Samsung as the top seller of smartphones. iPhone shipments this year are expected to top Samsung's for the first time in 14 years. Analysts say the increase is largely due to users replacing phones they bought during the COVID boom. An upcoming Apple TV series called The Hunt has been pulled after allegations of plagiarism. The French thriller has been accused of stealing a story from a 1976 action film. The production company now saying it is reviewing those accusations and takes intellectual property issues seriously. Finally, here's what you get when you combine a pair of Nike Air Max 90s with a Super Nintendo Entertainment System, a tiny computer and battery in the tongue, plus some cables allow it to play classic games, including Super Mario World. It was created to mark the console's 35th anniversary. That is so cool. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Lionel Moise. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, I'm sold on that. Well, just a quick reminder, if you want to honor our fallen soldiers at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, now's the time to order a wreath. The deadline to buy one is going to be tomorrow, November 28th. Then on December 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning, community volunteers will come together to lay those wreaths and pay tribute to the heroes who gave everything for our freedom. And of course, that QR code will take you right to that website there. We're looking at 526 right now, 51 degrees outside.
As the holiday lights shine bright in Kerr County, marks 145 days since the deadly floods. We show you how the recovery process is going.
Also coming up on our next half hour, GMSA, the teen that was caught on video pepper spraying people along the Riverwalk has turned herself in. Our Patty Santos explains the full story and the charges that teen is facing this morning. Fran. All right, good morning. It's 5:30 on your Thanksgiving morning. And of course, we're following everything related to the news, traffic, weather, a couple of traffic things. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Welcome, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving, Justin.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we know a lot of folks are obviously going to be up early, maybe already making some food, or you are going to be headed out to the turkey trot later. So what are we looking like in the weather departments?
Just a little chilly this morning, but you know, it is late November, so these temperatures are actually pretty normal. And so, yes, happy Thanksgiving to you. And we're going to spend the day with pretty comfortable temperatures all day long. We're at 51 right now, RJ. 50 down at Port SA, 46 Bulverde, 51 Canyon Lake. So pretty uniform numbers here around the metro. Now, as you get up into the hill country, it is a little bit colder. 39 right now in Kerrville, 39 in Comfort. There's a little bit of a wind chill there, too. So I would call it jacket weather this morning, but we will get temperatures up to 58 by noontime, 62 at 2 o'clock. Now, one thing we do need to watch out for is some increasing cloud cover. Could have an effect on temperatures. Right now I'm forecasting 64. If clouds are a little thicker and moving a little faster, in theory, it could be a little bit cooler. But either way, I think it'll be a mild day today. Maybe you're doing some traveling. No issues across the state. If you're heading down I-10, partly cloudy there in Houston, 63 today, 61 in Dallas, sunny there. Mostly cloudy out in El Paso, so if you're headed down I-10, again, still no issues with rain, but just a bit more cloud cover. Same story if you're headed down towards the valley today. We've got big changes this weekend. We've lowered temperatures a little bit on Sunday, and I'll show you why and what you can expect rain-wise early next week, too, coming up in just a couple minutes. But let's talk about traffic now. RJ's got an update for you there.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Take a look at your traffic authority again on this Thanksgiving morning. Good morning to all of our folks out there as we get 5:31 in the morning. We did have a stalled vehicle being reported over by 410 at Vance Jackson, but I was just looking at this camera. Looks like we have cleared this out. We had a Hero truck out there helping that driver out. So seeing a few folks on the road, nothing too crazy at the moment, but we still have this ongoing situation. This is going to be 35 over by Fisher Road on the far southwest side of town, past 410 for all of our folks that are making their way between 410 and 1604. And let's check in with our photojournalist Alex Gomez in drive cam for us to see how the scene is looking out there. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So that scene should be clearing very quickly. I just left 35 North at Fisher Road, and there was a wrecker there, and it was already hitching up that car. So it should be clearing out pretty soon. I'm on my way to a new accident on 410 near I-37. That's more southeast of the town. So I'm going to let you know what I see when I get there. But in the meantime, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to Patty. Patty, what are you up to this morning?
Hey there, good morning. Doing great this morning, enjoying a beautiful view here on the Riverwalk. And do you remember we recently told you about a teenager that was caught on video pepper spraying people on a Riverwalk barge? Well, this morning we now know who that teenager is because she turned herself into police. Now, this is the video that we're talking about. 17-year-old Cassidy Luz Trevino is the person seen on that viral TikTok video. It showed the moment she was asked to leave the barge for refusing to turn down the volume on her phone, and then her pepper spraying 8 people, including a little toddler. Police say it was her probation officer who recognized her on that social media video. And Trevino has been charged with 1 count of assault causing bodily injury and 2 counts of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled person with intent, which is a 3rd-degree felony. Now, we asked tourists last night how they felt about this teenager being arrested, and they tell me Trevino's reaction was really unwarranted, but many of them tell me that they feel very safe when they visit the Riverwalk, and this is an isolated incident. Reporting live this morning, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Patty. Well, check out some of this video right here. Countless fish and ducks have been dying at Northern Hills Lake off of Scarsdale Street on the northeast side of town. And now the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department is investigating what's going on here. So in a statement, the department told us that they don't know what's causing the deaths of these animals and the fish out there. Jenny Rivera, you see her right there, just moved to this area on the northeast side. She says that she will not be taking her daughter to walk by that lake as long as this continues in the future.
I would be risking my daughter, and I wouldn't want to do that. So it is concerning.
Well, as the department continues its investigation into what exactly is causing this, the department says that people don't necessarily need to avoid that area, but should not handle any sick or dead wildlife or fish, and avoid feeding wildlife that would cause them to congregate as well. As for walking their pets in the area, the department says to make sure that your pets are up to date on all their vaccinations. Well, of course, today is Thanksgiving, and many of us are marking this day surrounded by our loved ones. Remember that this will also be a very tough day for many of our neighbors, especially in the Hill Country, those that obviously dealt with a lot over the summer, who lost loved ones in the July flooding. KSAT anchor Stephanie Jimenez reports from Kerrville, where people are getting ready to mark the first major holiday since that disaster.
I'm standing in what you could consider to be the merriest place in the Hill Country. We're outside of the Kerr County Courthouse, which is lit beautifully for the holidays. And so in some ways it matches the mood here. But on the other hand, you have a sense of sorrow here in Kerr County because of the 100 plus people that we lost during the floods. 2 people still haven't been found, and those search efforts continue. Those search efforts are for 63-year-old Jeffrey Ramsey and 8-year-old Seal Stewart. So I said a moment ago, those search efforts continue, as does the rebuilding effort. To this day, we still don't have a total number of structures that were damaged or destroyed as a result of the floods, but there are areas where you drive around, you see and you hear constant generators, constant machinery. Some homes have foundation issues. We spoke with a couple from Ingram who barely made it out of their home during the flood. After the disaster, their home was pretty much down to the studs, but now Mike and Brenda Trollinger's home is making some progress. We went inside and saw new flooring being installed, and the couple is hoping to be back home before the end of the year. But businesses are having a challenging time. Some of them have shut down completely. Others had to renovate, and they're also in the process of rebuilding their customer base. But through it all, people here, for the most part, are holding on to hope.
Of course, you go through your stages. I was a little angry, but I'm not anymore. I'm actually feel very happy and very blessed.
I think Kerrville's back open. You know, we want people to come back, visitors come back.
And if we can help the people that need it, that's all we care about.
Seems that what a lot of people need is hope.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
It's unclear how long this recovery is going to take because there's no timeline for that. But there's no doubt that this community is pulling together and giving really true meaning to the phrase Kerr County strong. In Kerr County, Stefania Jimenez, GMSA.
Stephanie, thank you. We'll go outside with live cam. It is 5:36, 51 degrees this morning. Clear and cool here in San Antonio for right now. We do expect clouds to build in later today. Did want to check in on the airports really quick. No issues. Should be a lighter travel day, and we're not detecting any delays at this hour.
Turkeys for troops. We're going to meet the local man feeding hundreds of families and military members this Thanksgiving, plus how he's helping young school children on the other side of the world.
Okay, that turkey looked pretty good. While thinking about donating to charity this holiday season, we're going to show you how to find charities that are really making a difference across the San Antonio community and to also make sure that you avoid the ones that are not doing that. We'll be back coming up.
And I'm at the scene of a crash site near 410 and I-37 on the southeast side. Coming up, I'll give you details on what to look out for if you're going to be in this area.
Welcome back and happy Thanksgiving. Well, after the crazy rush of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday, it's time for Giving Tuesday. You see the graphic right there. This is a day to give back, but before you open up your wallets, how can you be sure that your donation is really helping out? KSAT anchor Stephanie Sedenas shows us how to pick the charities that make a real difference and to avoid the ones that don't.
With so many charities asking for help on Giving Tuesday, it's worth checking before you click donate. A name might sound like a worthy cause, but you want to make sure you're sending money to the right place. Websites like Charity Navigator and the Better Business Bureau's Give.org make it easy to check.
This will tell you how much money went into services or program expenses, and you can compare that to administrative costs and fundraising.
The best nonprofits spend most of their money on the mission itself, ideally 75% or more. Check the charity's website for details about its purpose, board members, and recent financial reports. That kind of transparency shows your donation is in good hands, and if it's not there, that could be a red flag. And if you get a call, text, or email asking for money, that could also be a red flag.
Some low-rated charities have names that sound like those of high-rated ones. If you're solicited, ignore the email or text message, or simply hang up the phone.
Online giving platforms and social media fundraisers with crowdfunding websites are popular, but before you donate, make sure you know the person who is raising the money. And remember, most crowdfunding sites charge a small transaction fee that's often automatically taken out of your donation. Stephanie Serna, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you very much for that, Stephanie. And of course, you don't have to give money to make a difference. Donating your time can be just as powerful. Volunteering lets you see firsthand how charities work and makes your impact even that much more personal. Well, this week, thousands of turkeys have been seasoned, basted, roasted, and also smoked. But perhaps no one locally is deep frying more birds than Les Thompson and his team with the nonprofit organization Noah's Farm. His massive custom-made fryers have been going on for days now behind the Alcivar Shrine Auditorium. That's on the north side of town, off 1604. Thompson has been frying these turkeys since 2007. This year, he dropped more than 1,200 birds into the peanut oil. 200 turkeys are sponsored by local residents and donated to homeless veterans and wounded warriors at Fort Sam Houston's Soldier Recovery Unit.
One, we feel like we're doing God's work, but also we have so many people that help us. So it's not just like our idea or anything like that. People have come along and believe in it.
All I can say is thank you to the community for doing this. I hope that the community realizes by doing this for our soldiers in recovery that it absolutely means the world to them.
Well, proceeds from the sale of the Noah's Farms turkeys also go to help build water wells and fund education of the African country, Zimbabwe. All right, very interesting. And Justin, are you a deep fried turkey guy, or what's your go-to turkey?
No, just the whole sticking in the oven thing, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You got to be good at it if you're going to do it, but they have it down to an art there, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, for all of our folks that are going to be obviously headed out for the holiday, the rest of the next couple of days, how are things looking?
Well, I think today and tomorrow look pretty good, other than we'll see some drizzle late tomorrow. But by the weekend, things will really shift, and some people may get caught off guard. So make sure you're sticking with the KSAT weather app. We'll lay out your weekend hour by hour for you coming up, and you can see that things will change pretty rapidly with a cold front. All right, some of your headlines here. Thanksgiving, increasing clouds, mild today. Friday, cloudy, some drizzle late. And then as we get into the weekend, a warm Saturday, yes, but a cold and windy Sunday. So that's that big change that we're talking about. Hour by hour today, 7 a.m., 47 chilly, 48 at 8 a.m. And then we'll make our way up to 58 by noontime, partly cloudy. And then I'm going to call it mostly cloudy this afternoon. Now, these clouds will have a pretty big bearing on where these temperatures go, but I think we'll see enough sun to get temperatures up into the mid-60s for highs. Here's the nighttime satellite picture, and I talked a little bit about this earlier, but these orange and yellow colors, that represents cloud cover. And obviously at night we can't use the visible satellite picture because we'd be looking down from space. We just can't see it, right, because it's dark. But we can use satellites to kind of pick up on where the low clouds are. And we put the color on here so you can see it a little bit better. So we've got cloudy skies. You go past the Laredo Junction up to Waco and Dallas this morning, but still some clearing where we are over San Antonio. And you look at the country as a whole, there's really not a lot to look at. We've got some showers up and down the east, pushing off the East Coast, some showers down in Florida, but really a pretty quiet Thanksgiving for a lot of folks. And that's good if you're traveling today. But as I said, the weekend, I think, could be a little problematic. There is going to be some travel issues Sunday because a cold front works through Saturday night. So on Saturday, you'll get morning drizzle, a few showers, and then maybe a bit of a break in the action with some peaks of sun, and then a shower or storm late Saturday night as a cold front comes through. I've got rain chances at 70% Saturday morning, so I think it's a damp start. And then by the afternoon, just a 20% chance of that shower or storm. We make it up to 73. Front comes through Saturday night, and we will struggle to get out of the 40s on Sunday. The temperatures will just plunge. And I'm going with 50, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 48, 49 for high. Cloudy, windy, cold, wind chill values to talk about. So know that Sunday is not a great day. Neither will Monday. Monday's going to be cold and wet as well. All right, real quick, I did want to mention the Lone Star Showdown. We showed this forecast yesterday, but in case you missed it, the Aggies travel to Austin. 20% chance of some showers for that game. Temperatures in the 60s, but all in all, pretty good football weather. Okay. 62 tomorrow, 73 Saturday, 50 on Sunday, 49 Monday with that 40% chance of rain. We do clear out Tuesday, 57, but those morning lows will get quite chilly. 39 Tuesday morning, 38 on Wednesday morning, and then a chance of rain returns on Thursday. But yeah, a little worried Sunday. There's going to be some weather, maybe not so much here. It'll be cold here, but there'll be weather across the country that could cause some travel issues, so make sure you stay up to date on that. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. has to do with Thanksgiving, of course, and I wanted to know which U.S. president made Thanksgiving a permanent holiday. Your choices are Adams, Monroe, Lincoln, or Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt to be exact. You can vote. Right now, Abraham Lincoln is taking most of the votes, 63%. Go to ksat.com/polls, scan the QR code, and we'll bring you that answer in 1 hour.
All right, good stuff there, Justin. By the way, Teddy Roosevelt, the namesake of course, Roosevelt High School.
Yes, indeed.
The Rough Riders. Okay, let's check out the traffic situation. And by the way, I think the Aggies are favored 1.5 in Austin.
Just barely, but it's a rivalry game. You can throw those numbers out the window.
All right, let's give you an update here. So we showed you this yesterday. Just wanted to update our folks on the Thanksgiving travel forecast, according to our folks at TxDOT. Basically, today's going to be light traffic. If you are headed out today to any sort of Thanksgiving activities, not going to just see too many people on the roads. But tomorrow, we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit because we're going to have moderate traffic along 35 because of that big game that Justin just referred to. Texas versus Texas A&M kickoff at 6:30 from DKR. So it should be a good one there. And of course, the rest of the weekend, we have all this information on our website, ksat.com. Now let's get to the current traffic conditions right now. We are clearing out an accident over here, 35 south at Fisher Road. Still have some emergency vehicles on the scene, but as Alex reported earlier, it looks like for the most part, they are about to pick up that entire scene right there. 37 to 410 on the southeast side. This is going to be a bit of a trouble spot for us. So let's go to photojournalist Alex Gomez for the very latest on that side of town as he makes his way throughout the San Antonio area. Good morning, Alex. How's it looking?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, RJ. So I just made it to the scene. This is going to be on 410 westbound, right underneath I-37. Now, the call came out as a rollover crash, but thankfully the driver made it out okay. No EMS needed. So we do have SAPD now on scene. No lanes blocked right now, but just slow it down because once the wrecker arrives, things could change. I'll let you know, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex, for our drivers on the southeast side of town. Okay, it is 5:52 on your Thanksgiving morning and 51 degrees outside. Coming up next on GMSA Plus, beware of scams this holiday season, the resources that we want to bring you, and how you can be involved in this process. 5:55, welcome back to GMSA on this Thanksgiving morning. Well, check this out. The San Antonio Zoo is weeks away from opening their brand new exhibit, Congo Falls. This is a gorilla exhibit, and the first 3 residents made sure to arrive yesterday. Check this out. Female gorillas Andy, Mary, and Annika arrived from the Zoo Atlanta. This is all part of the Gorilla Species Survival Project. A total of 7 gorillas are planned to call Congo Falls their home in the near future, which will have 3 habitats that will allow multiple ways for visitors to see the apes in action. Congo Falls is scheduled to open on December 13th at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then at 8 o'clock that night, the zoo will hold a drone show to welcome those new gorillas to the San Antonio area. The one-night only event is free for zoo members and open to all guests. Pretty cool stuff there. Well, next Wednesday, December 3rd at 11 o'clock in the morning, join KSAT Community Live for a town hall that could save you some extra headaches this holiday season. KSAT anchor Stephanie Cerna, along with experts from RBFCU and the Better Business Bureau, will be here to share how to protect yourself, recover from scams, and spot the most common holiday tricks. You can share your story at ksatcommunity.com, and your questions could be answered live with all of our town hall experts. All right, it is 5:56, getting close to 5:57 here at Thanksgiving. But let's talk about Black Friday. Sales are almost here, but watch out. Those deals may make you spend more than what you originally planned. How to shop smart this holiday season.